All right, so you're here, and like most of us, you're probably super busy, right? Trying to like stay on top of things, keep learning, keep growing, but like without getting totally overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like drinking from a fire hose sometimes.
Exactly. You just want the key insights, right?
Yeah.
And you want them fast. So today we're going to dive headfirst into Avius AI.
Okay, Avius AI.
Yeah, you've probably heard the buzz, right? All this talk about AI and how it's going to revolutionize businesses. Well, Avius AI is one of the companies that's really making waves with their AI-powered voice and web solutions. We've been digging through their website, checking out all the info on booking demos, and our mission here is to break it all down for you. Like, what exactly are they offering? How does this stuff actually work? And most importantly, could this be, that secret weapon you've been looking for to like really boost your efficiency?
Right, yeah. I mean, the potential's huge. Everyone's talking about AI these days.
Right. And like right off the bat, there's this one statistic that really grabbed my attention. Avius AI claims that their solutions can increase productivity by up to 60%. And get this, they say it could be up to 17 times less costly than traditional methods.
17 times. That's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah, it's a whopper, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, we got to unpack this.
Yeah, for sure. Like, how are they even measuring these massive improvements? I mean, at its core, Avius AI provides what they call conversational smart AI,
Oh, yeah.
voice and web solutions. Now, when you hear chatbot or like virtual assistant, you might think of those kind of basic automated responses, right?
Yeah, totally.
But Avis AI says there's a big difference here. They say their technology can actually understand like the human context of conversations. It's not just about recognizing keywords.
Oh, okay. So it's not just like picking up on certain words. It's actually trying to figure out what the person means, like their intent.
Exactly. And they list a bunch of key features that make this possible. The first one they highlight is custom AI voice and chat automation responses.
Hmm. Custom AI voice.
Yeah, so it sounds like they're trying to create like a digital version of, your customer service team.
Okay, so like a digital representative, essentially.
Exactly. They say their technology can act like a real representative, handling everything from like FAQs to
Yes.
like super complex processes.
Right.
And they mentioned this AI voice generator technology.
Okay.
So it sounds like they're really focusing on creating those natural human sounding interactions.
Yeah, which is super important, I think. Like if you're going to have an AI interacting with your customers, you don't want it to sound like, a robot from the 80s.
Exactly. You need that human touch to build trust, make a good impression.
Definitely. And it's not just about sounding human, right? It's about actually being able to like help people.
Right.
They emphasize this thing called intelligent voice and web chat interactions. So again, it's about understanding the context, right?
Yeah.
Which seems crucial for actually solving problems effectively.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. How many times have you been frustrated with those automated systems that, like, just don't get what you're asking?
Oof, way too many.
Right. So by really focusing on context, Avius AI is trying to make those interactions, much smoother, more effective. And that leads to what they also highlight, which is increased customer satisfaction.
Which makes total sense, right?
Hmm.
If your customers can get their problem solved quickly, easily, and they can do it any time of day or night, well, of course they're going to be happier.
Yeah, and that 24/7 availability, I mean, that's a big shift for a lot of businesses.
Absolutely. And, for those of us who are constantly juggling a million things, this next point is huge. Freeing up your team.
Freeing up the team. Yeah, that's definitely something we can all relate to.
Right. So they're talking about how the AI can take over those routine tasks, like answering calls, scheduling appointments, dealing with all those basic inquiries.
Yeah, all that stuff that eats up so much time.
Exactly. It's like having like a super efficient assistant who never takes a break.
Yeah, and that's one of the main reasons why businesses are turning to automation, right? It's about offloading those repetitive tasks so your human team can focus on the stuff that requires, like, actual human skills.
Right. Like creative problem solving, strategic
Well,
thinking, building relationships.
exactly. And that can lead to a big boost in productivity and, people will probably be happier at work too.
For sure. Now let's talk about that big claim we started with. Up to 17 times less cost than traditional methods.
Yeah, that one. It's a real head turner.
It is. I mean, that kind of potential savings, it's hard to ignore, right?
Right, absolutely. And when you think about all the costs associated with human agents, salaries, benefits, training,
Yeah,
and then if you need people to cover 247 operations, it really adds up.
big time.
So Avius AI is basically saying, look, we can achieve similar results to a whole team of human agents, but at a fraction of the cost.
Okay, that makes sense. And they also talk about uh, automatic resolution of business needs.
Interesting.
Yes, suggesting that a good chunk of customer issues, they even mentioned up to 90% for some businesses, can be handled by the AI completely on its own.
Wow, 90%. That's a lot of autonomy.
It is. It's kind of like having a self-driving customer service department.
Yeah, basically. And if it can really resolve that many issues without any human intervention, I mean, think about the efficiency gains there.
Yeah, it's huge, right? Like your human teams would be freed up to focus on the really complex stuff.
Absolutely. And it implies that the AI is capable of, handling not just simple questions, but like actual transactions and problems.
Right. Pretty impressive. And then they bring up this idea of instantly multiply your staff and increase productivity.
Multiply your staff. That sounds almost too good to be true.
It does, right.
Yeah.
But if the AI can manage a bunch of interactions at the same time, I can see how it could lead to like a massive boost in output.
Yeah, and the idea of multiplying your staff instantly really highlights that scalability thing with AI.
Mm,
Like, you don't have to spend time and money recruiting and training new people.
right.
The AI can handle a ton of interactions simultaneously.
Yeah, it's always on, always ready.
Exactly. And that's what leads to those potential productivity gains.
Makes sense. Okay, next up, they talk about automated lead capture and qualification.
Lead capture. Now, that's a big one for any business that's, trying to grow.
Right, absolutely. And it sounds like the AI can engage with potential customers and then like filter out the ones that are most likely to convert.
Yeah, basically. It's like having an AI gatekeeper, right?
Hmm.
So the AI can be that first point of contact. It can engage with people coming in through calls or web chats,
Yeah.
ask qualifying questions based on your specific criteria,
Uh-huh.
and then boom, it can route those qualified leads to your sales team.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so your human sales reps are spending their time on the prospects that are, most likely to become paying customers.
Right, maximizing efficiency.
Exactly. You're
Yeah.
making the most of everyone's time.
Love it. And to keep everything running smoothly, they also offer automated call routing and workflow triggers.
Workflow triggers.
Yeah, so hopefully this means no more getting lost in those endless phone menus.
Right. Those are the worst.
At worst.
Yeah, so the goal here is to create a really smooth, efficient experience for customers.
Huh.
Like the AI can automatically direct calls to the right department
Mhm.
or trigger specific workflows based on what the customer needs.
That makes sense.
So it minimizes wait times,
Yeah.
reduces the chance of missing calls, and it makes sure customers are connected to the right person right away.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, for businesses with a website, their automated website engagement management sounds super valuable.
Website engagement. Yeah, tell me more about that.
So imagine having an AI chatbot that can, like, greet visitors to your website, answer their questions, guide them around. And it's available 24/7.
24/7, that's a game changer.
Right. I mean, that could be huge for customer support
Yeah.
and even lead generation.
Absolutely. A well-designed chatbot can provide instant support to anyone who visits your site.
Yeah.
It can answer FAQs, help people find the information they need,
Right.
and it can even help them complete like basic tasks.
Okay.
So it makes the customer experience much better because they're getting help right away.
Yeah.
And it frees up your human support agents to deal with, the more complicated stuff.
Right. That makes sense. And they also emphasize scalable AI voice solutions.
Yep.
Mentioning that they can handle up to 200 simultaneous calls.
200 calls at the same time. Wow, that's a lot of
That's
calls.
a ton.
Yeah, that really shows you the power of their AI voice technology. Because if you can manage that many calls at once, it means you can scale up your customer interactions without being limited by, how many people you have in your call center.
Right. That's huge for businesses that like have those really busy periods, right?
Absolutely. Like if you're running a marketing campaign or you have seasonal spikes in demand, AI can really help you handle that extra volume.
Makes sense. And finally, among their core features, they highlight consistency in every interaction.
Consistency. Oh, that's a good one. Even with the best training, it can be hard for human teams to be perfectly consistent all the time.
Yeah, totally. Like people get tired, they have bad days, They might interpret things slightly differently.
Exactly. But AI, it's programmed to deliver the same level of service every time, and it'll always stick to your brand messaging.
So no matter when or how a customer interacts with your business,
Hmm.
they're getting the same consistent on-brand experience.
Exactly. And that predictability helps build trust with your customers.
Right, for sure. Okay, so we've gone through a lot of their core features, but Avius AI also highlights what they call the Avius AI advantage. And some of these points kind of build on what we've already talked about, like
Okay.
that 247 availability. They actually offer a really interesting comparison here.
Oh, a comparison. What do they say?
So they say that it would take about 4.2 full-time human receptionists to provide the same level of continuous support that their AI voice solution can.
4.2 receptionists, huh?
Yeah.
That's a pretty concrete way to visualize the potential efficiency gains.
Right. It makes it real, like, oh, wow, I could
Mhm.
potentially replace 4 people with this AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then they reiterate those scalable AI voice solutions, emphasizing that businesses can free up their employees to focus on things that actually drive growth.
Right, like marketing and business development.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's not just about cutting costs, it's about being more strategic with your resources.
Yeah, it's about using your human capital for the stuff that really makes a difference to your bottom line.
Absolutely. And lastly, under advantage. They bring back that idea of consistency in every interaction, but this time they're positioning the AI as like your most dependable, most on-brand employee.
Oh, I like that. The best employee.
Right. It's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, because the AI is always there, always performs at the same level.
Always following the rules.
Exactly. So every customer gets a predictable and on-brand experience every single time.
Okay, so they've painted a pretty compelling picture so far. But let's get down to brass tacks. They also provide some real-world use cases to show you how this could actually work for different businesses.
Okay, real-world examples. That's always helpful.
Right. So they start with the service industry. They talk about, the challenges they face, like high call volumes, managing inquiries, personalization, scheduling, interruptions, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, the service industry, they definitely have their hands full.
Right. And for them, Avius AI's solutions could be a lifesaver.
How so?
Well, imagine being able to handle those scheduling requests automatically,
Mhm.
providing personalized info consistently, even when you're slammed,
Right.
and filtering out those routine inquiries so your human team can focus on the more complex stuff.
Yeah, that would make a huge difference.
They also highlight the challenges faced by real estate firms.
Oh, real estate, yeah.
They're dealing with a lot of repetitive info requests.
Right, like people asking about property listings, neighborhoods, the whole process of buying or renting.
Exactly. And they also have to deal with those seasonal staffing fluctuations.
So AI could really streamline things for them.
Totally.
How so?
Like, the AI could handle those basic inquiries about properties,
Yeah.
freeing up human agents to focus on the stuff that really matters, like, meeting with clients, showing properties, closing deals.
Makes sense.
And the scalability of AI can help them manage those staffing ups and downs that are so common in real estate.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. What about sales-driven organizations? What do they say about them?
Well, for them, it's all about being available 24/7 to capture those leads.
Right, because if you miss a call or you take too long to respond, you could lose a potential customer.
Exactly. And they also talk about the importance of qualifying leads efficiently
Okay.
and being able to scale their outreach efforts.
So Avius AI is basically saying we can solve all those problems.
Pretty much. They say their AI can engage with leads around the clock, qualify them based on specific criteria, and then scale up or down as needed.
Sounds like a pretty comprehensive solution. So if someone listening to this is thinking, okay, this sounds amazing, I want to learn more, what should they do?
Well, Avius AI has made it super easy to get started.
Good.
You can just head over to their website, which is aviusai.com, and look for the book appointment option.
Okay, book appointment.
Yeah, it seems like a really straightforward way to schedule a consultation.
And is there a way to talk to a real person?
Absolutely. They actually have a phone number you can call, 855-284-8196.
Okay, 855-284-8196.
Got it. Yep. And they specifically encourage you to call that number to request a business demonstration that's tailored to your needs.
Ah, a tailored demo. That's smart.
Right. So they really want you to see how this technology can work for your specific business.
Yeah, that shows they're confident in what they're offering.
Totally. Now, for those who are thinking about the cost, they do provide some info on their package pricing.
Okay, let's talk money.
Right. They have a starter package that starts at $499 a month.
$499 a month.
Okay. And a more comprehensive Pro package starting at $749 a month.
So what's the difference?
Well, the starter package includes some of those basic features like call transcription, a local or toll-free number.
Right.
It also has limits on voice and text interactions and something called voice intelligence.
Voice intelligence. What's that?
Sounds like some kind of AI-powered analysis of voice interactions.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then the Pro package adds things like intelligent web chat,
Okay.
email integration, more advanced system integrations, and longer call recording storage, up to 90 days.
So basically you get more features and more flexibility with the Pro package.
Exactly. And of course, they address the big issue of privacy. They clearly state that they do not sell your information.
Good. Because data privacy is a huge concern these days.
It is.
So it's good to see them addressing that up front.
Definitely. And they direct you to their full privacy policy for more details. So to wrap it all up, Avius AI is essentially offering a whole toolkit of AI-powered solutions to automate and improve customer interactions, whether it's through voice or web communication.
Okay, that makes sense.
Their main focus seems to be on helping businesses become more efficient, cut costs significantly. Remember that claim of being up to 17 times less expensive?
Yeah, that was a big one.
And ultimately, improve customer satisfaction by being available 24/7 and delivering consistent service.
Right, so they're positioning themselves as like a one-stop shop for businesses looking to leverage AI for customer interactions.
Exactly. And, when you think about that 24/7 availability and those potential cost savings, it really makes you wonder, how could integrating AI like this completely change the way we think about customer engagement and operational efficiency? A pretty big question that goes beyond just the specific features of Avius AI.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it really makes you think about the future of customer interaction and the role that AI is going to play.
It's definitely a conversation that's just getting started.
For sure.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining me for another deep dive.
My pleasure. It was a fascinating discussion.
Until next time.